And we are back for another edition of the Monday morning quarterback film study. Unfortunately, it is the season-ending version of the Monday morning quarterback film study as we look back over the Wolverines' disappointing outing versus TCU. TCU, great season, but they didn't finish this season playing their best football, which can get you beat when you're playing a really good team like TCU, as Devin said, the four best teams. Before we get to DG, I want to remind you folks out there that these film studies, the footage we use does not belong to us. You know the routine. We do this for the education, the edification, and entertainment of you, the people. Yes. Look for one more time this season. We might have something special for you in the off season. Because DG, people have been asking me, what's DG's Cash App? What's DG's Venmo?
Oh, I got that Venmo.
And you know what they said? Wait. They said that there's a way for people who come on the stream, if they want to, if they want to show you love, they can pay to have their comments elevated. So if I want to be the one to talk to DG, I could pay for elevated status so I could talk to DG.
Oh, that's cool, but that don't go straight to my bank account. So it's going
So Cash App. Let's stay with the Cash App.
No. I'm gonna go Venmo.
Okay.
First, I know I've been playing y'all on my Venmo because it's like you gotta find it. I'm gonna give it to you right now. This is the last one, baby. This is the last one because you can subscribe for $1 there. You can subscribe for $1 forever. Your dollar there gonna end. So Venmo is @Devin DEVIN in case you were confused. _ or hyphen, some people call it. Gardner, my last name, another hyphen, and then the number 2. And, the Cash App is Gardner Devin J. And I am accepting all block protection.
Block protection, that's what it is, DJ.
Oh, I'm accepting all block protection. And obviously, I feel like
so people can talk crazy to you. Once they pay you. Whoa. You said block protection.
Block protection.
That's immunity, man.
Block protection to a point. But, depending on the number, if you really go crazy in those, the Venmo or the Cash App, I could make a decision. I'm the executive, so I could talk to the board, and I can make an executive decision like, you know what, say what you like. But, just be, don't take it too far.
Right, I hear you, man. We gotta bring the personality and the jokes to make this game.
You gotta laugh and stop them crying here.
Yeah, man, because it's a tough one. Because I'm giving TCU all the credit they deserve. They outplayed, outcoached, all that stuff that we've been saying. Michigan's a better football team than them, man. They just weren't better on this day.
They are. I believe they are a better football team. You kind of saw it, right? Once Michigan figured it out, but when that snowball starts to roll, it just gets bigger and bigger. And it's very impressive they were able to withstand that storm, right? Because like you said, TCU was a really, really good football team. They're going to give Georgia all they can handle. But, for Michigan to be able to make sure that they keep that, they only lost by 6 and they gave 14 away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So for them to be able to create turnovers and make plays on offense and take advantage of the way TCU was playing defense, which was highly disrespectful in a lot of instances, and we're going to show those. I think that was super impressive, and for us, for Michigan to have their own intestinal fortitude. I talked about on Monday morning quarterback or Wednesday morning quarterback or Monday morning quarterback on a Wednesday, however you want to phrase it, about Max Duggan and his intensity, his ability to withstand the pressure, his intestinal fortitude. I talked about it, and his team. We were watching film and looking. I'm like, man, it looks like the team is taking on that identity as well. And I think the same for Michigan. I think that J.J. McCarthy showed a different kind of intestinal fortitude. We had 200-yard pass catchers. It was needed, all of it, obviously, because we didn't even win and we got close. I think that he showed something that we just haven't seen. And I think that's impressive and something truly, truly to build on for the next season because, after winning the Big Ten championship in 21, coming into 22, Michigan wasn't the favorite. It was still Ohio State, and I even chose Ohio State as the favorite. I thought that they would be a lot of their team was coming back, and I thought that they would be a little more mature and able to whatever because I knew the quarterback competition, all those different things. This year, Michigan's going to be favored to win the Big Ten. I don't think there's going to be one person that's going to say Michigan, especially what they were able to do with the defense after losing essentially 3 first-rounders, right? You lost 2 first-rounders, and David Ojabo would have also been a first-rounder, right? So you lose 3 first-rounders, and to come out and play defense like that in the next season, and you lose your defensive coordinator, and you lose your offensive coordinator, right? So to come out and play the way they played, I think that the culture has changed, and a lot of the pundits are going to, for sure, be on the whole Michigan bandwagon that returning the quarterback like you saw in that game, in that semifinal game, they're going to have them as the favorite to win the Big Ten, and it'll be the first time since 2003, 2003, maybe.
Well, yeah, this is a tough one. There were more mistakes than the pick sixes, so let's be clear on that.
A lot of mistakes.
I agree with you when you say I think the bigger hits were the 2 times inside the 2-yard line you didn't score. But this is the Monday morning quarterback, so we're focusing on the quarterback. Yeah. Which means we're going to be focusing on the pick sixes in this instance, and we'll start off first with the first interception on a drive Winston. DG, and let's bring this up on the screen and have you talk us through it, because you said on the breakdown that it was a hitch step that did him in.
Yeah. So
you watched the video and you said you kind of think it's deeper. Yeah.
It's deeper than just taking a hitch on this throw, right? So This concept is called a sail. Well, I call it the sail concept when I was in high school. My favorite play to run. Super simple, right? You got a deep out from the slot, which is Ronnie Bell in this case, and you got a go route on the outside, right? Pretty simple to read. Now, TCU looks like they're in a cover 4 press type of shell. It can't be 2, right? You see the corner up close, and you would think maybe he's playing the flats. No, he's playing something else because the safety is inside the hash. Safety wouldn't be inside the hash if he's playing cover 2. That's a heavy disguise if he's trying to do that. So it looks like a 4 press, right? And so the reason I say this, and I don't think it ends up being that, but 4 press dictates that the quarterback has to do something different than if he knows it's man-to-man, right? Let me explain. So 4 press, right? You got a cover 4 corner, right? His responsibility is deep 4th, but he's basically turning into man when you get a vertical route. You got the safety who is in his 4th as well. But for cover 4, there are different types of things that teams do where the corner can read through number 2 or the safety can read through number 2, right? And so if the corner reads through number 2 in this cover 4 defense, right, or if he were to play cover 2, which I don't think he is, but if he's reading through number 2, he is going to fall into this out route and is going to take the safety over the top to take the go route, right? So when you're dropping back, you have to realize, hey, I can't just throw this on a plant throw, because if I do in this type of coverage, it's going to be a problem. You understand this? Mm-hmm. So you have to almost hitch so you can see what happens, right? Do I have to throw the whole shot? Do I have to whatever I need to do? But it's not that.
So real quick, explain to people, because, you're a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Not everyone is. Plant throw versus hitch throw.
Right, so plant throw, think of a 5-step drop or a 3-step drop, whichever you choose. You go 1, 2, 3, and as soon as that 3rd step, that back foot, which is for a right-handed quarterback, that right foot hits the ground, the next motion is the ball coming out, right? And a hitch, when you hitch, you go 1, 2, 3, and that foot is a little further outside your frame, and you kind of get they call it a crow hop, right? Or a gather step to kind of hitch into a throw, and it depends on the timing, right? Some routes suggest that you hitch for timing. Some routes suggest that you cannot hitch for timing, right? And so for this one, on Monday Morning Quarterback, I said that he has to not hitch on this. Well, when you watch it over and over again, reading through the coverage, I don't know if his initial footwork is to not hitch. I would love for him to see how they're playing defense and speed up his drop and stick his foot in the ground and get the ball out. But that's a tough ask, right? That's a tough thing to do. And you're going to see this safety is going to beeline, right? He never even stops looking at number 2. He is in man, and essentially this is zero coverage, right? And this is kind of how they play defense, right? All day. They played similar defense to this all day with a lot of guys in the box, which is why we couldn't run the ball as effectively as we wanted to. But, so that's what happens on this play. The ball's on time if he is allowed to hitch, but he's not, right? He's trying to hold the middle, hold the linebacker so he doesn't get outside, and the hitch makes him late. And so one thing that I always teach young quarterbacks is if the receiver can see you throw the ball, especially on timing routes, it's not a good throw. Because when the receiver can see you throw the ball, who else can see him? The defender,
DB, yeah.
Right? The defender can see him as well, right? And so you can see right here, Ronnie Bell is he's open, right? If this ball came out on a plant throw, This is a catch. The DB is going to miss, and he's going to score because there's nobody else, right? The DB is breaking, but when you play on time, there's no defense for a perfect throw, right? And I think this would have been a perfect throw if it's thrown on time. He sees it at the same time as the DB. The DB breaks on it, and obviously strike up the band. The band will be playing every single time on a play like that, especially on this area of the field.
Yeah, that's a.
It's a tough break, but it's so much deeper than just simple. Hey, because it's an accurate throw, all that, whatever. It's so much deeper than just plant throw or just whatever. It's a lot that goes into it. But as he continues to get reps, I think that he's going to figure it out. Like, hey, within my drop, I can speed my feet up, get him in the ground, and get this ball out, recognizing what they're trying to do to me. But that's a heartbreaker right there, man. Yeah, especially as it set the tone for the game. The first score of the game is a defensive score. It was tough to watch.
Here's what we saw over the course of this game, though. DG, man, it didn't matter if it was a tight end or a receiver. They was running by these safeties, man.
I feel like I have been on the table and you've been with me all year. Everybody, our receivers can't get open. This, and that. And I kept telling you, they can run and they can play. They can run routes, whatever. You know, everybody wants to say what they want to say, but we watched so much film that it's just ridiculous that they would even challenge. But whatever. And it was on full display in this game because it had to be. There he goes. And I like this other angle where you watch him. Because, you know, I like Schoonmaker. You probably like him more than me, right? And I think he's really, really good. Mm-hmm. You think he's like one of the best tight ends in the country. And watching stuff like that where he beats the first level defender, gets up on the second level defender, breaks across his face, and is running away from him, that's next level tight end play.
So I talked to an agent before the season. He was kind of running. He was asking me about all Michigan's guys, right? Yeah. And he said at the time, so this before the season. Mm-hmm. He's like, you know, our guys have Luke Schoonmaker higher on our board than Eric All. Yeah. At that time, and I said, really?
So when you told me that, I'm like, I don't know about that. That's taking a little too, especially the way the NFL is going. A guy that can run and catch, like All. But when you watch him make plays like this against a defense that's been playing the pass all year, he beats one level defender with strength, and then beats a guy with speed, a safety across his face with speed. I have to agree. He's outstanding. That's an outstanding football play for him. And then obviously another really good throw by JJ.
Well, what surprised me at the time was they said because they thought he was more complete. They thought they both could catch, but they thought that Schooney was more advanced in the run game and run blocking. And that's something that Eric said. Eric actually said, yeah, he's ahead of me as a run blocker. So I was like, man, these scouts.
Yeah, but
these scouts
they're not really looking for guys to block.
I hear you.
They're looking for a mismatch that can run down the field and catch the ball and put him on the backside of outside zone to the left.
Yeah, he could do that. He could do that.
He could do that for sure.
All right, so
just make sure you cut off the defensive end. Don't let Frank Clark just run and go get the run from the backside. That's all we ask.
All right, so here we go, DG.
Is this the 9?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I'm so sick of this. And everybody knows that you can go look at the timestamps and whatever the case may be. I tweeted out, okay, 13's got it. Right? Winters has done his thing. He's proven that he's going to commit to the run. And, you know, people wonder, man, why we can't run the ball? We're supposed to be able to push these guys around. It's the 3-3-5. That looks like a 3-3-5 to me. Yep, that's a 3-3-5. Is it a 3-3-5, Sam? Is it truly a 3-3-5?
It's not truly a 3-3-5.
It's not truly a 3-3-5. You got all the guys about this is Dagger.
Wait, no,
right?
this is
Dagger. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that. This is Dagger. Look at the attitude and disrespectful posture of these safeties. We got a guy in Roman Wilson. I don't know his 40 time. I'm sure he's probably 4.3 guy, 4.4, whatever the case.
He's a 10-600 meter guy.
He's a 10-600 meter guy, which is, I don't know if you guys know, I don't know a whole bunch of track, but I know that's fast. It's very fast. Much faster than I've ever been. And you got these two safeties. This is how much they respect us and how much they don't think we're going to throw the ball on the field. They are casually backing up. Casually. They're not sitting down the back pedal, ready to turn and run. They're casually backing up. And Roman Wilson is in the most beautiful steel running form, sprinting as fast as he can. That's the disrespectful posture. And then obviously we saw what happened. He run the old dagger concept. Obviously you could have thrown it to Cornelius Johnson, but you want to take those shots when they are there. Cornelius Johnson's wide open, but look at Roman Wilson just run through their defense. Unbelievable. And then I'm not even going to get into how bad the officiating was because we lost this game ourselves. We could have won even if the officiating wasn't bad. This is a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they said it on the broadcast. The referee that's on the broadcast said it. Every person on the planet, even the TCU fans, are probably thinking, man, that's a touchdown, watching it at home. And the referees blew it. They were terrible, and they were terrible. They blew it on that one for sure. So
Yeah, now, and Michigan should score from the 1 yard line, though.
And that's why I said forget about them, because Michigan should score from the 1 yard line. We all know what happened. It was ridiculous. Not going to diagram it or whatever. There's no reason to. We know it was ridiculous.
Man.
And, yeah. But the ability to overturn a play like this when there's no clear, indisputable evidence that that's not a touchdown. I can see if they called it not a touchdown and then they couldn't change it to a touchdown. I could kind of understand that. But to have it a touchdown and then call it off, inexcusable.
Yeah, man. And touchdown off the board. Michigan, they do get that amazing field goal at the end of the half by Jake Moody, but it's 21-6 in the third quarter. You need to play.
Yeah, 21-6 in the
You need to play.
Need to play.
Now, understand, leading into this, they've had 2 outside runs that have hit pretty well. Let's hit them with a little play action, DG.
Should have came a lot earlier, but I'll take it when I can get it. Why can't we run the ball? And I got an answer for you. Allow TCU to count the ways. This is why. 1, 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the way. In a full sprinter stance. How many blockers do we have, Sam? Sam, how many blockers do we have?
Hey, man, at this point, what is that, 7 blockers?
Sam,
Seven blockers?
Okay. This is not a trick question. 7 blockers. What is a bigger number, Sam?
9 is
or
bigger
7?
number than 7.
How we gonna run the ball, man? How we gonna run the ball, man? And if they that disrespectful, that they're gonna sprint 9, Sam, how many football players are allowed on the football field? Not Canada. I'm talking about American football. How many football players?
11 players, man.
So out of 11, 9 of them are tackling people in the box?
Yep.
Man, come on, man. This is why we can't run the ball. Look at this. Look at this.
You set them up, man. You set them up. You gave them hard counter look.
Oh.
You just had 2 outside hit plays. Play action,
By the
baby.
time the safety sees that it's not a pass, he's at the line of scrimmage already. He sprinted inside the line of scrimmage. And this is a nice catch by Ronnie Bell. But,
This is my major.
This isn't second guess for Devin, in case everybody's wondering.
Well, this
is first guess. After Winters had the first 2 or 3 tackles for loss, I said, okay, we get it. Make sure we hard play action him right now. They did it the next play, and it was to Roman Wilson, right? But then they just didn't go back to it much. It was devastating.
Yeah, so this is we talk a lot about the MAs for the players, right? This is to me the part on the coaches. The game plan in the second half was outstanding. They couldn't stop it. They could not stop it. Man, if they had started the game like that. Attacking the edge, hit him with a counter, play action off of that running the court, running JJ. They, even with some mistakes, they still win this game. So players had MAs. This is the part where tactically, I think the coaches started out saying, we're going to pound them, we're going to pound them, we're going to pound them. They adjusted after the half, unfortunately.
There's a saying that I told you when we were breaking down the film. All coaches say it. There are cuss words in it, so I'm not going to say it because I don't want to, be fired. You paid me today, and it looks so good. I can't risk losing that by saying cuss words.
Right?
But don't make S up. S word. Don't make S up. That's what coaches. Don't make us up. We practice. We do stuff. We know what we're good at. We know who we are. That's the pet peeve for a coach, for a player. Don't make stuff up because I can't trust you now.
Yeah.
I can't trust you. You can't just go in there doing your own thing, making stuff up. Well, that thing goes for coaches too. And the coaches started to make stuff up. Reverses on the goal line, hurrying up when we're a power running team. We don't need to hurry up. We don't need to trick people. We hurrying up, trying to do a fullback dive. We throwing the ball outside on the quick screen like we Aaron Rodgers versus matched heads. Something we haven't done. Why are we making stuff up is the question for me. And so the coaches have to hold that as well, right?
Yeah.
JD has to hold his 2 interceptions. The coaches have to hold that. I think that a holistic, it was a team loss.
It was a team loss, yeah.
It was a team loss. Everybody had a hand in it. And here's the aforementioned Aaron Rodgers quick screen to the outside, right? And it works in the NFL, but we haven't done it. We haven't had game reps at doing this. I haven't seen this one. Have we done this? Maybe once, maybe not enough, right? Not Aaron Rodgers does it all the time. Tom Brady does it all the time. It's not enough, right? You got 3-on-3. That is a recipe for disaster, right? You shouldn't throw it. Now, MDM, right? Most dangerous man. These two guys are in a predicament, right? So I think that's Loveland in the inside.
It's Loveland
on the
outside
outside.
and Himner.
Number 2 is Loveland, right?
Yep.
The first guy
And number
closest to
3 is
Ronnie Bell.
Himner.
Loveland has a problem because he steps to go block the guy over him, which, in my opinion, is the most dangerous man at the start. But when you see how the corner attacks, he redirects, it was pretty talented move. He redirects and blocks the corner because it's to a computer. Most dangerous man is over you. He's standing in the end zone, and 24 is running as fast as he can, or 14, whoever it is. He's now the most dangerous man, right? So the inside tight end, who is it? What's his name? Himner, who was in the game because of an injury or whatever, right? He is not even worried about the guy in the paint because he thinks that the guy standing over Loveland is going to be blocked by Loveland, right? So his eyes are taken to the guy inside that is sprinting over late, who's going to be able to make the play, right? And then you leave the guy over Loveland who's able to just go tackle Ronnie Bell. So I think this play's not going to work regardless. Who they block, the combinations could be different, whatever. I don't think this play is going to work because it's matched heads. I don't understand because at this point, what is the score? Down by a lot, right?
It's 21-6.
21-6, right? You haven't gotten a whole bunch going, but you're down here close, right? You've had 2 downs. This is a time, and if I was an announcer, this is what I would say. They have to have the best play in their playbook. You go into a game with usually 2 2-point plays. We haven't used a bunch this year, so they might have a few stacked up. 2 or 3 2-point plays. Your best possible 2-point play or best possible play to get 2 yards has to be right now, because this game can get away. You need to score a touchdown. You have to have your best play to get 2 yards, and it's usually your 2-point play. That can't be it. Even if it's like, hey, JJ shouldn't have thrown it. Maybe it was a run play, an option for him. He made a bad decision. That's not your best play to get 2 yards.
I don't disagree, especially under these circumstances. I don't know the target, so we'd have to ask that question.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Matthew Hibner, and I'm big on not singling guys out, but I'm talking about the scenario.
It's tough for him.
It's tough for him,
I think
man.
he actually did a good job, dude. This is a guy flying as fast as he can, and in my opinion, that is the most dangerous because he's at a full sprint, right? He's at a full sprint, and Ronnie Bell won't be able to defend himself. Now, this guy standing in the end zone is more ginger with his approach, right? So I think the guy sprinting is the most dangerous man. Now, some people may disagree because the guy standing over Loveland is closer, but what I think this young man is thinking, he's looking at the guy sprinting and knowing that he has to pick up the trash. He thinks Loveland is going to block that guy. And Loveland had to make a different decision.
This is, to me, the second time in the red zone, though, that you're putting guys who are not normally your guys in really tough positions. So right here, Matthew Hibner is in a really tough spot. In the Philly special, whether it's Coast and Loveland throwing the ball, but Coast and Loveland never gets a chance because your running back on the play goes the wrong way. You put Khalil Mullins. Yeah.
I told you that story.
He did. What's your Derek Green story?
Man, I don't even want to get into it because it's gonna get me all riled up. But he's in the game and he made stuff up, went the wrong way, and now I throw a pick because I think he's supposed to be there, and it's just a whole deal.
Coast and Loveland might have a chance to run the football in if Mullins runs the right way and doesn't give the defensive end a clear shot up the field, but. Play call, man. Play call and scenario.
You gotta attack this race with the cars that brought you here.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. I don't see, but once again, I take responsibility. I'm gonna blame myself and blame you, Sam, first, but then myself too, because we didn't remind them that everything, especially on a 4th down or whatever, has to go through the hands of number 9 and
Hey, that's at my point. Exactly.
But we didn't do that. We thought we didn't have to, but we did. That can never happen again.
Yeah, I give Jim credit. He said, "Hey, man, I that's my responsibility. I take it because the head coach, the buck stops with me, right? But so if we had to do it over again, I'm not. That's not
JJ
getting
should have
called.
made every single play, and if he doesn't make it, that's fine. But everything should have run through JJ, just like TCU made sure. They made sure everything ran through Duggan, even though he wasn't playing great. They made sure everything ran through Duggan. You got to roll with the horse that got you here.
That's exactly what I said in the postgame. Like, man, in that situation, I don't even mind the trick play as long as it involves number 9,
you got the ball.
handling the ball. Exactly what I said. Exactly what
You
I
mean
said.
Statue of Liberty, something. I don't care.
I've been hanging out with you a whole lot, DG. Because, man, I'm already starting to say things DG would say. How about that?
They
How about
probably
that?
think they don't even know. We don't even really talk before this.
No.
This is all organic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I seen him plays at 12 midnight every time. Yeah, I know you be mad at me. I'm sorry, man. I be doing stuff, man.
I know you do. I know you do. Roll with the punches,
seen
man.
you play. Hey,
Shout out to my man Ben Krasner who
Getting
helps
us
cut
done,
up the
getting us
plays, man. Definitely. All right, let's get to the next one. Let's see. We have the other INT. And so this sort of gets into what I'm speculating a bit. DG, this is a really, really tough scenario.
I don't like throwing slants.
This is
I know I don't like throwing slants.
This
you
is
know,
a-
I'm gonna call JJ. I'm gonna try and find his number. You got his number? I'm gonna call him. JJ, do you like throwing slants? Because judging by this, he might hate slants for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he might.
I hate him. I hate him. I don't think I've even ever thrown a pick on. Well, I threw one where a guy reached out with one hand instead of catching with two because he's trying to get a highlight and tipped it to the other team. But as far as like a guy robbing it like this, it's happening in practice, but I don't think it happened.
Yeah, it's 28-16, man. It's 3rd and 3, which back to your own goal, and
It's heartbreaking.
this is a tough one.
13 was having a game in his life. He did a good job of getting underneath the shallow cross. And obviously, you know, everybody, what is he looking at? Well, he's not looking at him, I can tell you that, right? He didn't see him. You know what I mean? He didn't see him.
So talk me through the reads here.
Right, so look at that picture right there. Right, you got the guard kind of in the way, right? You got the shallow cross that I believe, right, because that looks like kind of like double slant. I believe the shallow cross should have gone in front of the face of Winters, right? In front of the face of Winters. Because if he goes in front of the face of Winters, he detracts him, and now you have that open lane for the slant. He goes behind him.
Yes, he
right?
does.
And so, I've told you this before, and I don't know if I think I've said it on air. A lot of quarterbacking is knowing where people are supposed to be, and you don't quite see it, and you throw it.
I think you 100%. We didn't even talk about
We
that.
didn't. I just thought, just looking at him, I'm like,
And
I
look
think
who-
he's supposed to go underneath and take the attention of him.
I think you're
Because
right.
when you go double slants, the first, because the reason I didn't think of it before, because I'm thinking shallow cross. That's double slants. Right, you got a vertical release and double slants behind it, which I think is a really cool play because now you got two opportunities to get that guy out of there. But if you don't go in front of him, the job of the inside slant is to not get the ball. He only gets the ball if they ignore him. Your job is to take the backer out of there, right? He goes behind him, and so JJ anticipates that he does his job and that whatever, and then he throws the slant. I think that's what happened, honestly.
Yeah.
And so he never sees him because he thinks that he's going to be gone because a linebacker's not going to watch a guy run across his face. He's not going to do it. He's going to react to it, right? Winters, having the game of his life, steps down underneath the receiver, and the rest is history, I suppose.
Yeah,
that ball's coming out, and he hasn't even seen 13.
Yeah, I will verify that. I will definitely
I need
ask.
you to, because I think I just found it out. I found out a lot of stuff just by watching it tape because I played so much ball, and I really think that that's what happened.
And you see who, I mean, this isn't, again, Luke Schoonmaker's out the game.
Yes, it's a different tight end. Yep, that's the young guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's tough. So I mean, I'm gonna explain something about young football players and young people in general, as far as like in sports. There is a rhyme and a reason for things, and this is why some people who you seem like so talented in high school, they don't get a chance to play. Because in high school, you're just doing stuff for the most part. Some schools have good programs where they're teaching you the hows and the whys, why we're doing this. But you don't understand. Like, remember, like you talked about your dagger concept. You don't know.
You don't know,
this inside
right?
guy ain't supposed to get the ball for real.
Yeah, you
like
don't
he
know.
just running.
Yeah.
But if the coach can explain to him, hey, listen, man, you are the guy. You won't get the ball, but you have to make this play work by busting your butt, not trying to get the ball, sprinting through the defense so that dig can come underneath. Well, for a lookie, right, and as much as I don't, we had a slot guy who was really, really good at it, and he would take the attention, and it's a sacrificial lamb, right? You have to be selfless enough to know, I'm not going to get this ball, but I have to make sure that my guy gets open. But if I'm a young tight end, I'm getting in semifinal, didn't expect to play much, I'm running to try to get the ball as fast as I can to get where I'm supposed to be, right? That's what you do. Right, everything gets sped up because your heart's pounding. You don't know. You almost hope they throw you the ball, but you hope they don't because you don't want to mess it up. You know what I mean? And so you kind of lose the details of your assignment. And I think that's kind of what happened here.
Yeah, because I, not seeing that live, I'm thinking, man, he locked on to Colston Loveland, predetermined he was going to go there with the football because look at the corner Look at the corner route.
Yeah, the corner route. The thing is, the ball's already coming out right by the time he wins. So I'm thinking matchup: big tight end, smaller corner. I'm throwing into Loveland too.
Even
though I would have not wanted that play call to begin with.
If you look at Ronnie and you look at the posture of the safety.
Oh, 100%. But the thing is, if you're anticipating that this linebacker is going to be gone, you think you're going to get the ball to Loveland. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so you're not – like it seems like he could see Ronnie through that, but you're not looking at that. You're anticipating that you're getting a guy across the linebacker's face. He's out of there, throw a nice completion for a slant, and then it turns to disaster.
You're a pretty bright guy, DG.
I'm
thinking you might be right about.
Man, you see my glasses?
About him.
Boy, I got glasses on. You better quit playing with me.
I'm thinking DG.
Hey, don't let this goofy hat and fool you. You know?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna ask if he was supposed to run because I do know. Because I had to ask about on the Philly special. Did you running back run the wrong way? Running back run the wrong way. Here, I think you might be
That's
right.
That's an outstanding play by 13, though, man. He had a game in his life. He was the MVP. Right?
Made him some money.
Was he the MVP?
You know who? I now remember who it was. I don't know, but it was Singletary. Singletary said, because he was in the stands. He said, "Man, I went up to that young man's mom and said, hey, young man."
Of course you did. That's a Singletary thing.
Yo, son played a hell of a game.
Still in that mix. You know, he like, hey, man, I might have a guy for him. You know, we can get him some money.
Right. It's like, hey, he made himself some money today.
He most definitely did.
Man, all right. We got one more. And this is so this kind of beats the drum. Man, QB in the run game, attacking the edge. DG, this was there from the start.
Right, so this is a 2-point play. Remember I talked about the aforementioned you have to have your best play to get 2 yards?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this play, and it's a great play, and it's a touchdown and all that. Let's let it run. That's fine. It's nothing to really talk about. The one thing I want you to see is what could have been all game. Right? Look at what presents. Watch him. Just watch him the entire time. Watch him. Watch his head. Watch how he doesn't know where the ball is. Look, what? That is what could have been in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
So now all those runs are there now because they actually have to deal with number 9 in blue, right? And so I think that was a big mistake. And obviously in hindsight, first of all, I made that clear against Ohio State. So obviously, I would have said the same thing going into this game.
Mm-hmm.
But in hindsight, I'm not the hindsight guy. I first guessed this. For Ohio State, I would have said the same thing, but I'm going to blame me. I'm fine with that. We didn't do a show, so we couldn't do it. But that is exactly what the whole game should look like, and it would have been an outstanding game for Michigan, I think, and a tough game for TCU to handle. And with their quarterback not playing his best, I think that Michigan would have won this game going away.
On film, DG, the counter beat that out of these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know what I'm about to say? He scored a touchdown on a QB counter.
You know what I'm about to say? I don't care nothing about that. 9 got to have the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he scored a touchdown on a QB counter.
You can run something else. Outside zone. What you want to do? You could do. I don't care. 9 has to make the decision.
I'm right there with you.
Yep.
I'm right there with you. Look, hey man,
counter.
Your number 1 running back is Donovan Edwards.
9 and
your
5.
number 2 running back, number 9. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
And it's hindsight is 20/20 as they say.
I first guessed it though.
Hey.
And you as well, I think.
Yeah, man. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm that. Look, I talk to a lot of experts. I don't pretend. I talk to a lot of experts that coach me up on the game.
Sam's football mind is so vast now, I feel like.
Hey, man.
All the years you were so good at your job, but like you've taken it to an entirely different level because not only you were already good, but it's like, hey, man, I think there's a little bit more under the surface. Kind of like how I thought about Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
With JJ, there's just a little bit more you can get to, right? And I was correct. And
the fans want to know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if our fan bases really want to know football on this level.
Yeah.
This fan base does.
Some want to. I think they want to, especially the big ones. They want to know how and why, right? And that's why when you're an announcer, that's the basis of being a color announcer, right? The commentator, how and why. Teach them, tell them how this happened and why it happened, rather than just showing them what happened. So I think that the fans desire it because that wouldn't be the rule, right? That wouldn't be the rule. Your first rule. I think fans desire it, and I think that we did an outstanding job this year. Bringing it to them, man.
And look, let's not make it sound like this is gonna be the last they see a DG till next year. There's the spring ball, and then there's a little something we working on behind the scenes.
I'll make a few appearances.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Yeah. Hey, I heard you got a cash.
All I know is, go ahead.
Yeah, your Cash App and your Venmo.
That will help DG get around just a little bit more. Man. And if you were wondering what those things are, if you missed the beginning of the video as I opened my phone. the Venmo is Devin-Gardner-2 with an @ sign at the beginning, obviously, and the Cash App is money sign Gardner Devin J.
Hey, my guy, this has been a blast all year long, which is why we gonna have other things to talk about. Certainly gonna talk about Michigan in the spring game, because here's the thing: they're gonna be favored to win the Big Ten. They're gonna be favored to make it back to the college football. No guarantees, but they're gonna be one of the best teams in the country.
He's gonna be a Heisman contender by the middle of the season. I think that even Donovan Evers is gonna get in that conversation. Everything is gonna be trending up, and so at this point, you got to see what type of team are they as far as being the front runner, right? Because to this point, they've been the battling back, chip on the shoulder. They don't believe. Well, not everybody's going to believe, right? We've believed, right? But everybody's going to believe now. Everybody's going to be on that Michigan bandwagon with the weapons they're returning. Obviously, the young talent and the way the offensive line has played in back-to-back years, the way they were able to make the defense play just as well, maybe even better than they did with 3 first-rounders. And a new defensive coordinator, I mean, everybody is going to be on the Michigan bandwagon. We won't be able to get an interview from anybody because we got to do this national interview. You know what I mean? They're going to be treating Sam and me like we wasn't the ones giving all the answers to the test. And that's just what it's going to be. And so can they be the front runner, right, like Ohio State has been for so long, and still get it done, I think is the question. And that's going to be the question that we talk about next season and in spring ball and all that.
Yeah. Folks, it's been real. You know what I say. If you like this video, be sure to like it on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way, whenever we do a new video, you get a notification. Of course, subscribe to us over on the MichiganInsider.com. $1 gets you in your first month. Late signing period. You know, that spring recruiting period. Spring ball, basketball, summer and off-season recruiting. $1 gets you started on that journey. All right, folks? And again, you know what I say about this footage. We don't own it. So as such, we only present it for your entertainment, your edification, and your education. We don't profit off of it. No monetization.
None.
No sponsorship. Just for you, the people. We love y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of Monday Morning Quarterback Film Study. We'll see you next time.